You said amen to me, the creator of all the universe, all-knowing, all-powerful, all-seeing. I'm offended. Hello, you little tinkers and you little tinkettes. How are you doing today? I am talking about words. About words, how they work, how they don't work, and about how we might be placing too much importance on words. I'll tell you all about my theories on the other side. So what I want to do before we start is I want you to listen to two things I'm going to say, and I want you then to think about what they mean. And here they are. The first one. Oh yes, you're such a beautiful person. That's the first one. Okay. How did that make you feel? I'll do it again. Oh yes, you're such a beautiful person. Okay. And now I'm going to do this one and tell me how you feel I'm projecting that. Oh yeah, you're such a beautiful person. Did that seem a little bit different? I'll do it again. Oh yeah, you're such a beautiful person. Exactly the same words. Exactly the same words. Meaning completely different. How on earth can that be? Well, because of my tonality and because of what my face and my body was doing. So in the first one, oh yeah, you're such a beautiful person. You're seeing, look, I've got my palms open, right? You know that's a sign of honesty when people talk like that. Yeah, they put the palms like that. I'm being honest. I'm looking at you in the eye. I've got my head to one side. I've got a little smile on my face. You're such a beautiful person. Yeah, very believable. Why? Because my words, my facial gestures, my body gestures, and the tonality are all in concordance. Yeah. So you think, well, that's a genuine compliment. And when I do this, yeah, because you're such a beautiful person, aren't you? Right? Now, another concordance, perfect concordance. I'm shaking my head like this. So I'm telling you something that you're not. Okay? I've got all the tonality of sarcasm and I've got my face a bit twisted. Okay? I'm not looking happy. And I'm squinting at you. Okay? So, again, all of those, the gestures, the tonality, and the words are all in concordance. So what is going on there? I'm saying the same words, but with two completely, opposite meanings, aren't they? They're opposite meanings. Why is that? Well, they did this study a while ago, long time ago. I heard about this study in the 80s. And what they were trying to find out was when somebody is not coherent in what they're saying. You know, they say, but I love you, right? And the words are saying, I love you, but the body and the tone is saying, I hate you. When people see something that doesn't fit together, there's something wrong with the message. The body language is not agreeing with the words or the tone. They start to look at what people place importance on. That's what this is about. And what they found was that, in terms of importance, 7% was the content. The words that you're saying. 7% of importance. The tone of the voice, 38%. And the body language, 55%. So effectively, take the words out of the calculation. We've got 93% of what we say has nothing to do with words, how we're understood. And what I mean by that is the real message is taken from our body language and our tonality. The words just give context, literally. They give context to all of this information that you're giving with your body and your tone. This is why text messaging and messaging on a phone has been a disaster for us in many ways. It has caused so many arguments in groups, so many fallouts. Why? Because the only thing we've got is 7% of content. We have no tonality, we have no body language. This is why emojis were invented, so that we could put some kind of emotional hit to what it is that we're saying. Because the words themselves, you know, I could write in a message, yeah, because you're such a beautiful person, aren't you? And I could write it sarcastically and somebody could read it and think, oh, isn't that so beautiful? Like the message that the child sends to the mum, oh, I've had some terrible news. My best friend has just passed away. And the mum says, okay, daughter, I'm thinking about you, lol. Okay, lol. And the mother thinks it means lots of love, and the daughter laugh out loud, obviously. So these things, words can be misconstrued, misunderstood. That's why we need to have other context. We need body language. We need to see somebody's face. We need to see the micro gestures. We need to hear the voice. This is why when we listen to AI generated voices, we're left cold. Why? Because all we can hear is the voice. All we can hear are the words. There is no tonality. There is no genuine tonality that we can tune into to say, is this person being real and true or not? What's the intention behind the words? All we're hearing is the words. And so, why am I telling you this? Well, the other day I was praying, and now I finished and I said, Amen. Now, many of you will be saying, what? You don't say Amen because it's the god Amun-Ra, Amun-Ra, Amon-Ra, the Egyptian god, and therefore it's been given to us and we're praising an Egyptian god. And that might be in your world. But in my world, Amen means so be it. And I was thinking about it because I talked about this before, about how disappointed I was that I felt bad about saying Amen. It's like, oh, I can't say Amen. I can't say good morning. I can't say I understand. And then I realised, hang on a minute. In fact, it was the emissaries who said to me, what's the intention behind that word? When you say Amen, what is your intention? And I said, well, my intention is to bring this affirmation to an end and say, let so be it. It's like an affirmation to say, and let this happen. That's the way I use Amen. And they said, so that's what it means to you. And at the end of the day, it's only between me and God. So, nobody else should be offended by it. It's only, and I honestly don't think that God would be offended by me saying Amen to God. I mean, if God gets offended by that, then probably that's not, not the God that we'd want to be following. You said Amen to me, the creator of all the universe, all-knowing, all-powerful, all-seeing. I'm offended. God, no. That's probably not God then. So I was thinking about my links with the word Amen. Now, I was brought up as a Jehovah's Witness, okay? And Amen was what we said at the end of every prayer. Every prayer. And what I realized is I have linked exceedingly positive anchors to the word Amen. Why? Because Amen meant it was fucking over. The meeting was over. That meant I could eat my meal. That meant I could go to sleep on a nighttime, go to bed. It meant always that it was over. Whatever we were doing, it was over. And it was like, thank God for that. Literally, my Amen was thank God. And so I feel very positive about the word Amen. I mean, equally, I could finish by saying, so be it. That would be all right as well. And I did that for a while because I was feeling bad about the word Amen. But then I started using it and I thought, do you know what it is? I'm taking away my own joy. I'm taking away my own joy to please a group of people that I don't even know who they are. Just a group of my peers have told me that Amen is bad, and so I'm going to stop doing it. Now, the issue I've got with that is this. I'm busy reading 1984 for the third time. I'm reading it in Esperanto this time. I'm learning Esperanto. And I'm reading about Newspeak. And there's this scene in the cafeteria where three men are together and one of them is working on the new dictionary, the Newspeak dictionary. And what he says was so impactful for me. It was like, man, I'm living this. And you see, we always think 1984, well, that's the baddies' domain. The baddies are doing that. But wait, this man said, the beautiful thing about our new dictionary is that it's going to be the smallest version of the dictionary that it's ever been. Our job is to take out thousands of words, take them out, not replace them, take them out. And he said, to the point where people will be unable to talk about crime, thought crime, because there won't be any words to describe it. And yes, I can relate that to, you can't say this word, you can't say that word. We're going to give you a new word now. You say this instead of that because they mean, and the baddies are using that. Of course they are. But the goodies are too. And I believe for the highest of intentions. I don't believe that people are doing it for bad intentions. I just think that we've got to be very, very careful about what we start doing, what we start saying that you shouldn't do, based on very light truth, based on, well, this is perhaps the idea. So I thought, well, I'll have a look. Let me just have a look at the origins of amen and all of that, So yes, it appears in the Bible and, it's used right at the beginning. And it has links to the Hebrew and the Hebrew sound and all of that. And then we've got Amen-Ra, okay? The Egyptian god. Now, let's just put this in context. So the first time that Amen was used was with the God of the Bible, but not the God of the New Testament, the God of the Old Testament. Now, already, I'm not a great fan of the God of the Old Testament. Already, I think that the God of the Old Testament was linked to all of those, the baddies. It wasn't top God. It wasn't the top God. It was like one of those demigods that we had. And then you look at Amen-Ra, right? Amun was one god and Ra was another one. Amun was the air god, the invisible, okay? Couldn't see him, like the wind, I suppose. And Ra was the sun god, could see him, feel him. And so they've connected them together, and that air, sun, fire, really, air and fire, two of the elements, yeah? All that's missing is water and earth. But the air and fire, they were then decided to be equivalent to the divine. From what I can see, there wasn't anything necessarily bad about that God, or nothing worse about that God than the God of the Old Testament, which used to say, go on, kill them and kill them as well and kill all of them. That was the God of the Old Testament. Let's do a lot of killing in my name and then sacrifice as many things as you can. I just want blood and I want more blood. The blood's mine, my blood, yeah? Very dodgy story going on there. And Amen-Ra, well, that was a god that supported the wars, etc. What I don't see is anything intrinsically bad in what Amen-Ra was, other than the divine God. We've had a divine God ever since the beginning, and we give it different names. The Greek gods, look how many different names they give, all of those things. And the Romans stole them all from the Greeks. It's just been endless. We've had names of gods all over the place. So it's not like Amen means all praise to Satan, for example. I don't think I never saw any in the information I was looking at. I didn't see any links to that kind of thing. It's just a word, but it's a tenuous link, right? It was called Amen-Ra, right? It's a tenuous link between Amen. How can I put it? In English, we've got loads of words that have double meanings, triple meanings. Bear, for example. Bear could be an animal in the woods that you wouldn't want to meet up with if it's a big one. Bear could be having no clothes on. Bear could be supporting something. We've got the word through, which is through, like a passage through somewhere. Or it could be in the past tense that he threw the ball. We've got the word chopper. That could be a helicopter. Chopper. It could be somebody who chops stuff up. He's just a chopper here. And it also could be a big willy. The reason I'm saying this is that if we want to start connecting sounds and saying that means that, then you can't just do it with 3 or 4 words. You've got to do it with all words. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. Either every word that sounds the same means the same thing, or it doesn't. And so you can't cherry pick and say, oh, well, good morning. You've got to be careful with that because that makes you feel sad because we're in mourning for the day. That one fits nicely. It fits nicely the kind of the idea, oh no, look what they're doing to us. What about weekend? What about week? Week. Oh my God, week. That means that they're taking all the energy out of us, like the joke. After 5 nights of sex, what do you get? A weekend. So that's fine. But then you have to apply it to every single thing. You say, hang on a minute then. So a plane in the air. That's the same as a plane in Spain where the rain mainly falls. And that's the same as a plane that a man uses. They're all different things. It's the same word. Maybe there's an idea behind it. I think when you start getting too deeply into it and cherry picking, which is what I see, cherry picking, then you just end up eating your own tail. It's never ending. That's why I think it's more important for us to think about the intention behind what it is that we're saying. The content, 7%, 93% how we say it and the tonality that we say it and the way that we express ourselves physically. That's where the power is. When you want to manifest something, when you want to bring something into your life, the words are the least important. The words just give you the context. Then what you've got to do is you've got to see it and you've got to feel it and you've got to get excited about it. Wow! That's what creates. Words do not necessarily create. To make a word affirmation work, you would have to say it hundreds of thousands of times for it to have any impact. And yet, all you have to do is get excited about something every day, a few times a day, and in 3 months you can have it. I know because I've done it so many times. And so, I'm going to continue doing my amen between me and God, and I'm trusting that He understands what I mean by that. If you don't want to, if it makes you feel bad to say it, don't say it. Don't say it. Say what you fancy. It's the intention at the end of the day anyway. The only thing I would ask, it's just the way that I am, is that if somebody else says it, don't worry about it. Don't get your knickers in a twist. Just because they're saying it, don't think that they're in league with the devil. Just because somebody's got a light over here, don't think that they're in league with the devil. It's just, let everybody just do their thing. Whatever you think that you should do, you do this stuff. I do that. I think I should do this, I'll do it. But imposing it on other people and making other people feel bad about the way that they think, not really our job, I don't think. Hey, but I could be wrong. And listen, everything I say is just my opinion. I don't know. But just a sense that I get. That I think our words aren't as powerful as we might imagine that they are when they're just words. I think what's much more powerful, much more potent, is our intention behind them. But hey, let me know in the comments what you think. Am I talking a load of bunkum, poppycock? Poppycock, let's listen to that. That's a dodgy word, isn't it? In and of itself. Bumcum. That's also a dodgy word as well. Tell me, and if you know any other dodgy words that you like the sound of, put them in the comments. I'd like to read a few dodgy words. I love you all and I'll speak to you all later. Bye-bye.